Welcome back to another episode of Punt Intended. I'm Tate. We have Josh. We have Colin, and we're here to talk about Week 5 college football and, recap what happened in Week 4 as well. So let's get right into it. Hutto, biggest winners of Week 4. Who do you got for your biggest winners?
I think that Missouri is the biggest winner on mine, just not because of the way they played, but staying in the top seven. They didn't necessarily pull that off themselves. They had a little bit of help from Vanderbilt's kicker, but I'm going to say Vandy. Not getting knocked off from Vandy and staying in the top 10. That makes them my big winner for the week.
Okay, interesting. All right, Colin, big winners from Week 4. Who you got, buddy?
I got Michigan. USC, that game really surprised me. I thought USC was actually going to win, which their quarterback, Miller Moss, he played good. But you mean to tell me you can win a football game with your quarterback throwing for 54 yards or 50-something yards and still win? That's my biggest thing is USC's run defense needs to go back on the chopping block because they struggle.
Yeah, they had the running backs wrapped up several times, and they were able to break tackles, especially the last one. I turned it on at the end, and that last long run by the Mullins kid from Michigan. Oh, my God, really did it for him. I had two. I'm going to go through them real quick. Utah goes on the road, Boone Pickens Stadium, picks up a conference win against Oklahoma State. Cam Rising didn't even play. Zach Wilson's little brother, Isaac Wilson, got the start. Didn't play great by any means, but got the win. And then I got Illinois. They go, I think that was a Friday night game. They go on the road to Nebraska and get a conference win as well. And they're undefeated, by the way, 4-0. So, those are my two big winners. I think they had a good week. Now, we'll move on to biggest losers, and I'm going to let Colin lead us off here. From Week 4, Colin, who was your biggest losers?
Oklahoma. Jackson Arnold probably just needs to transfer because he is absolute booty cheeks.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but real quick, I had a dude on TikTok, and I can cut this out of the video, but I had a dude on TikTok when I rated the top 5 Heisman or top 10 Heisman hopeful quarterbacks for this season. Oklahoma fan, and I went back and found it and called him out on it. He said I was an idiot and I was a clown because I didn't put Jackson Arnold on there. There you go. Continue, Colin.
He was so bad. Like, I hated both teams. I hate both teams. Can't stand Tennessee. Can't stand Oklahoma. But, so bad football. Like, when they put in their backup, they look like a good football team. Like, I think if that kid starts, this is a lot closer game than coming down into the fourth quarter and just getting some charity points in the end of the game. Because I really think, to be honest with you, that kid came in and played well.
He did.
But
he did.
Tennessee, I wasn't really impressed with Tennessee too much. They didn't. Of course, they won the game, and they're down in Norman. It's still a hostile environment, but I don't know. I just wanted to see more out of Tennessee, and I didn't see it. So,
Tennessee left some to be desired on offense, especially, I think. But their defense played well. I think their defense. They had, and some of that was quarterback play from Oklahoma, but I think Oklahoma had 98 yards going into the fourth quarter, total offense, something crazy. All right, Hutto, biggest losers.
I'm going to have to go with Oklahoma as well.
Okay.
I thought that, with them, this being their first year in the SEC, that they were really going to try to, show out. And, like Texas has. Texas is kind of really showing, hey, we deserve to be here. We deserve to play in this conference. And, from what we saw, it was just, like Colin said, it was poor football. That doesn't mean they can't do better later on in the year. I think they need to make some coaching decisions on, I really don't know how they fix it, but I think it can be fixed, and I think they can definitely, have a little bit better of a year than it's looking like.
Yeah, I agree. I think the defense is there for Oklahoma. You got to figure it out on offense. If anytime you could hold Tennessee, who's one of the more prolific offenses in the country, to whatever they score 25 points, is pretty good.
25 points.
You gotta, if you would have told me they held them to 25 points, then I think Oklahoma would take that. So, all right, my biggest losers, I got two again, but I'm going to go through them quick. North Carolina, my God, son, you give up a 70 burger to James Madison. Dear God, dude. I don't know what happened. I know they're starting their third quarterback in 4 games or whatever, but the quarterback's not playing defense, and you gave up 70 points to James Madison. And then Auburn.
So they scored 50. They scored 50.
Yeah, I know. And lost. That's impressive.
What's their quarterback issue? Why are they?
One of them got hurt.
The first one got hurt. I don't know if the second one got benched or what, but
I didn't.
First one broke his leg or something.
Yeah,
I didn't
Johnson.
know if they were, having a quarterback battle in the middle of the season.
No, that's Florida, buddy. That's anyway, not really a quarterback battle. Anyway, Auburn was my second loser. Lost at home to Arkansas. The wheels are falling off the Hugh Freeze train, and I'm a big Hugh Freeze guy. I think Hugh Freeze is going to be a good coach, but the offense has been awful. They started the backup, I guess what you would call the backup, and he threw like 2 or 3 picks, and then Peyton Thorne came in, and he's just awful. He's awful as well. So they got to figure out the quarterback position. The defense is decent, I guess, but they've got to figure out offense. You can't lose to Arkansas. Sam Pittman's fighting for his job, though.
Arkansas doesn't look.
They really don't. They really don't. All right, players of the week. I'll start off with this one. I got 2 again. First, I'll go Cam Ward. University of Miami Hurricanes went 24 of 34, 404 yards, 3 touchdowns, 50 yards, or right at 50 yards rushing against South Florida. South Florida's not a bad team either. I know they're in the American Athletic Conference or whatever conference they're in, but they're not bad. Cam Ward's got the job done all year. Impressed with Cam Ward. He's got to be leading the Heisman race or right there at it, in my opinion. Number 2 he's a stud. Number 2 for me was Trey Harris, Ole Miss. Ole Miss went crazy on and got sexual with Georgia Southern. That offense is prolific. We know that. Lane Kiffin is him. 11 catches for Trey Harris, 225 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a blowout win. Lane Kiffin's getting it done. I know they haven't played the best competition, but the offense is scary, bro. All right, Hutto, what you got? Player of the week.
I'm going for my player of the week. I'm going to have to go with Vandy's QB. I know they didn't win the game, and for the life of me, I was like, I got to remember this kid's name. And of course, right now it's failing me. But that kid really, really, really played good football. He was really the reason behind them almost upsetting a top 10 team. I mean, he played whenever it was coming down to the wire, he was putting the team on his back and making stuff happen. So. Man, the way he was running the football, and it was, kind of keeping Missouri on their heels. So I was very impressed by that kid.
Yeah, Clark Lee's got the boys in Nashville playing good football, pretty good football. Colin, player of the week, who you got, boss?
Player of the week, I have Luke Atmeyer. It's the Illinois quarterback.
Yeah.
21 for 27, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Going into Lincoln, Nebraska, that's huge.
Yeah.
Knocking off Nebraska, all their little hype that they got around the quarterback that ditched Georgia. So piss off Nebraska.
Yep. All right. Well, those are all good players of the week. Now we'll move on to the games of the week for the upcoming week, week 5. We'll run through these real quick. First, we'll start with Virginia Tech at Miami, and I'll let Josh lead us off. I'll just say this. Miami is favored by 16.5. We're not picking against the spread, but I'm just letting you know the spread. Go ahead, Hutto. Who you got in that one?
I think this is an obvious pick. Miami's been playing, and they've been firing off on all cylinders. Tate, are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. For some reason, you just disappeared. But
Hutto, you're lagging bad.
Hold on. Give me 1 second.
All right, I think you're back now.
All right, how's it look?
Yeah, you look good.
All right. But like I said, I think Miami's doing really well. They're playing good football. And one thing too is, Cam Ward, not only is he showing out as my NCAA ultimate team quarterback, he's showing out on the field in real life, playing really good football. So
okay. So you're taking the Canes?
I'm going to have to go with the Canes. I think Miami's going to come out with the victory, and I think they're going to cover the spread.
Okay. All right, we'll go to Colin next. Colin, who you got in this one? Virginia Tech at Miami.
Yeah, y'all can hear me. I didn't hear any of that.
I can hear you. I just can't see you.
I can see you and hear you.
All right. I got night game in South Beach, California. South Beach, Miami. Cavalier Twins are going to look nice going to the game, nice and tight. Give me Miami. Cam Ward's going to dust these boys.
All right. All right, yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. I like Miami here. Cam Ward's gonna be too much. Virginia Tech's been struggling, man. Kyron Drones has disappointed me. Quarterback play has been subpar for Virginia Tech. Like I said, Cam Ward's got to be leading the Heisman race at this point. Not saying he will win it, but I think he's got to be the favorite right now. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Canes, and I got them 38-10.
No,
right.
sorry, I got 48-17 Miami.
Okay, I like it. All right, game number 2, Oklahoma State favored by 5.5, going to Kansas State. I'll start us off with this one. Both teams coming off disappointing losses. Oklahoma State falls to Utah, and K-State blown out by BYU. Not sure what happened there, but they had a bad game. Both have pretty good quarterbacks. Both their defenses have been solid. But I'm going to go with the Fighting Mike Gundy's, the mullet man himself, the Cowboys to scratch out a win here on the road, 28-20, OK State. We'll go Colin next. Avery
Johnson let me down last week. I hyped him up a little too much, I guess. Maybe he does need to cut the raggedy Hutto haircut. But I see a bounce back game from him. I don't think he does that at home. I got Kansas State winning a close one, 24-20.
I like it.
I agree. I think they're going to come back off that loss, and I think they're going to play really well. I don't know. It's kind of hard to pick on this one what the score is going to be, but I think it's going to be tight.
Yeah, I agree. I think the spread's 5.5. It'll probably be right around there, I think, for either team, somewhere in there.
I'll say, okay, we'll say they win by a field goal. I don't think they cover the spread.
I like it. All right. Game number 3. This one could get interesting, I think. Louisville travels to South Bend, Indiana to take on Notre Dame. Notre Dame is favored by 5. Not sure how Notre Dame is favored by 5, but we'll start off with Colin on this one. Go ahead, Colin.
Give me Rudy and the Fighting Irish.
Okay.
Hard to bet against them at home. Got it 24-21 for not a cover. Give me Notre Dame.
Colin's going to have to make it Rudy reference every episode.
Got to.
That's the only thing I can think of when I think of freaking Notre Dame.
Yeah, me too, really. Go ahead, Hutto.
Rudy.
I don't know. I'm going to have to go. I want to make it interesting, and I'll go against Colin on this one. I think Louisville pulls out the win. I do not think that it's going to be a high, super high scoring game. Not really because the defense plays super well. I just, both of these, Notre Dame's been kind of struggling, trying to figure out their own. And so I think, it might, get above 14, 21 points, maybe a little higher. But I think both teams are not going to really great this game. But I'm going to go with Louisville on this one.
All right. So for me, after the NIU game, can't trust Notre Dame. Riley Leonard is dog water. I'm sorry, Irish fans. Buddy has thrown for 1 touchdown in 4 games. 1 touchdown in 4 games. Now, he has ran the ball a lot better than he's thrown it. So I expect a lot of that this weekend. I expect a lower scoring game. Expect it to be close. Tyler Shoe, for the quarterback for Louisville, I can't pronounce his name. He has 8 touchdowns in 3 games. So give me Louisville with quarterback play. I think, like I said, Notre Dame's got a decent defense. I'll take the Cardinals 24-17. All right. We're going to save the best game for last. We are going to go Illinois, traveling to Happy Valley to take on the Nittany Lions. And Penn State favored by 17.5. Illinois is 4-0 right now. Penn State also, I think, 3-0, or they're undefeated as well. I'll let Hutto lead us off here. Hutto, bat lead off. Who you got in this one?
Wait, we had them playing. Who's Illinois playing? We had them playing Nebraska. I'm sorry, I knew
Penn State earlier.
They weren't.
Yeah, it's Penn State.
Ooh, Penn State, Illinois is a tough one. Penn State always has a really good, environment. The fans really help out the team. So I'm gonna have to go Penn State at home.
I like it. All right, Colin, who you got in that one?
Give me the Nittany Lions.
Let's go. I like it.
38-28.
I like it. All right. So last, again, for me, like Colin said earlier, Luke Altmaier's been great. We know Drew Aller for Penn State's great. James Franklin just can't win the big games, it seems like. But Penn State's not going to lose at home. I think it's a close game, but I'll take the Nittany Lions at home 34-27. All right. And the game of the week. the one everybody's waiting for. My God. Turn me up. Number, I can't even remember what number they are. I think they're number 2. Georgia goes to Alabama. Georgia favored at Bryant-Denny Stadium by 1.5 as the last I checked. Game of the week. We're starting off with Colin. Give me who you got in this one, Colin.
When is the last time Alabama has not been favored at Bryant-Denny Stadium or
No
field
idea.
or now Saban Stadium?
No
I think
idea.
I saw a stat earlier, and I think
It's
it was
probably
like
been
in the
a long
last
time.
70 years.
It's probably been a long time.
I love Georgia, and I love Texas. This is Texas's year. Alabama knocks off the dogs.
Okay.
Alabama.
I like it. What'd you say the score you cut out right there?
31-21.
Okay.
I think they scored. It's close to the fourth quarter. Jalen Milroe, our defense has never been good at stopping a dual threat. I mean, that's my biggest reasoning for the pick for Alabama. Because when's the last time we stopped a dual threat? He's big, he's strong. You saw us. I mean, we struggled with Georgia Tech last year. Struggled with him last year. I think if it was at home at Georgia, you might have a better chance of winning. But I got Alabama 31, Georgia 21.
All right. Hutto, who you got?
I'm going to have to go with Georgia on this, and I will tell you why. I think that, DeBoer, it's obviously his first year coaching. He's inherited a lot of Nick Saban's players. He didn't really, he didn't pick these guys. Yes, are they really talented? But, I mean, we've all got to, we got to make this understanding that these guys came to Alabama to play for Nick Saban. Nobody goes to Alabama to play for Alabama. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter is they went to play for Nick Saban. If Nick Saban would have been at JMU, they would have went to go play at JMU. I mean, that's a fact. So I think both teams, I think are very talented. I think it could go either way, to be honest with you. But I think at the end of the day, you've got Kirby Smart with Kirby Smart's boys, and they're going to pull out, and they're going to take the W in Tuscaloosa.
I like it, Hutto. I don't think Alabama fans are going to like it too much. What you're talking about, the people only go to school there for. But you're not wrong. Everybody wanted to play for Saban. So for me, game of the week for obvious reasons. Both teams are coming off bye week, so they probably got a little healthier, hopefully. Georgia's defense hasn't given up a touchdown this year yet, right? Correct? Is that still true?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. That changes Saturday. Alabama will score. Bama's defense has also been kind of solid, in my opinion. Both teams have great quarterbacks. They're surrounded by talent. Both have good offensive lines. Both have great running backs. When the talent is this even, in my opinion, you look at two things. You look at the home field advantage. Obviously, Bryant-Denny's going to be rocking. But give me the coach that has been there before, that has won the big games and proven that he just makes the right decisions in big games. Give me Kirby Smart. Give me the Dogs. 28-24. But it wouldn't surprise me if Bama won either. Man, this is going to be a fun one. I cannot wait. So,
yeah, I think it's going to be a great game.
I do too, dude. I can't wait. All right. A new little segment we got. We'll run through it real quick. I told y'all upset alert. I didn't tell y'all specifically, but normally it's a team that's like favored by 10 or more points or whatever. But it's just somebody that everybody's expecting to win, and you think there's a chance they might lose. Not saying they will lose, but there's a chance to lose. Hutto, do you got one yet, or do you want me to go first?
Go first, because I'll pull something out real quick.
One I found was UCF. They're favored by 14, and they're at home against Colorado. I don't think Colorado's great, but I think if Colorado can stop RJ Harvey in that run game and KJ Jefferson running the ball, I think they can keep it close and maybe have a chance to win it. I would still pick UCF to win it, but I'll put them on upset alert, especially I'm pretty sure Florida has a bye week and UCF plays Florida the next week, so they could be looking ahead a little bit too. So I'll go UCF for my upset alert. Colin, who you got?
Well, my dumb self looked at something that was going to happen next week, so I'm just going to keep that one. But this is for the October 5th game. I've got Tennessee at Arkansas. Upset alert.
Okay.
You saw what happened last year.
That's a good one.
Onside kicks and all that with Alabama. I mean, it gets close down there in Arkansas. I think the kids are fighting for. Yep. Suwig Pooey or whatever they call it. But yeah, give me Arkansas to come out maybe with a dub there.
Oh, I like it. Hudo, who you got for this week's upset alert?
Man, this is a bunch of people going to call me crazy, but I think this is a good one, and if I call it, I look like a genius, but I think I'm seeing Kentucky maybe knocking off Ole Miss at home. Kentucky played really good football against Georgia. It's a stretch, but I think it could possibly happen. Coming with Kentucky, and they're kind of juiced up because they did played so well. It's a possibility. So I think that's going to be my upset alert of the week.
Yeah, well, there's one thing you always know with a Stoops led team, they're gonna play hard and they're not gonna make many mistakes. I know the South Carolina game they looked bad earlier in the year, but that might be an outlier. Stoops usually has his guys ready to play. All right, last segment, or actually, I'll go over our records from last week real quick. Records from last week: Colin 2-2. You were 6-3 overall. Hudo 2-2, 8-9 overall. Tate 3-1, 12-5 overall. All right, let's move on to Tate's trivia. I'm gonna let y'all play a little trivia game against each other. It's just something fun. Well, just answer if you think you know it. And
Colin's gonna be way. Y'all know I got my brain malfunctions, so Colin's gonna tear me up.
If it tears you up, Hudo, we'll swap it out next week, and you can come up with 3 trivia questions for us, and then the next week we'll do Colin.
Okay, we'll try.
You can just look it up, and all of these are college football related. Question number 1: what college football team has the most wins all time?
Oh Lord, sounds like something dumb. Tate would know.
No, it's going to be a team. Just think of a team that has been good for a long time. They've been good forever. They're always especially recently. They've been really good actually recently. So
you're going to say it says Michigan?
It is Michigan, correct?
Yeah. I mean, my top teams were Michigan, Penn State,
Texas is up there. USC, Notre Dame, Ohio State. They're all up there.
They actually had that stat on the Georgia game the other day when I was watching it, and of course, it doesn't put it up in the old ringer.
You might know this one. Question number 2: what 2 SEC teams play in the Egg Bowl every year?
I'll give them a chance. I know it.
They just played it. It was just played.
No, they haven't played it this year yet.
It was not.
Are you sure?
100%.
It's the last game of the year.
It's a rivalry game played on rivalry week, last week of the year every year. And
it's definitely not.
The last couple of years it has been played. I don't know actually the last couple of years, but I think I remember it being played on Thanksgiving Day sometimes, like a Thursday night.
Yeah,
it's definitely not. It can't be 2 teams I normally watch because I cannot think of any.
They're rivals, and they're both
is it old?
SEC.
Is it Ole Miss and Mississippi State?
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. The Egg Bowl every year. That a boy, Hudo. All right, number 3. Both of y'all are Georgia fans, so I thought this would sit right with y'all. Y'all are probably going to know this immediately. Who is Georgia's all-time leading passer for a career?
Aaron Murray.
Correct. Does anybody know how many yards he has in 4 years? He played 4 years.
In 4 years?
Yeah, he played for 4 years.
I sure don't know.
I was going to say 11,000.
It's more than that. I'm pretty sure he's the all-time leading passer in SEC history for a career,
he is.
But I'm not sure.
Yeah, he still holds the record, I think. I think Stetson, somebody came really close to beating it not too long ago.
Yeah, but he had 13,166 yards. Insane. What a career for Aaron Murray. He was in that towards the end of that Mark Richt era, man, where they won a lot of games and got a lot of heartbreak too.
It's always really, I always think of Aaron Murray and the team. I mean, you had Aaron Murray, Nick Chubb, Gurley, and Sony Michel on the same team at the same time. I think with a better coaching staff, that team could have been unstoppable at some point. Aaron Murray really does not get his due in the SEC just because he did not
underrated.
play. Yeah.
Dude was a trooper. He took some licks back there, too. I remember just thinking that's a tough guy sometimes. He would get smoked back there. I think, wasn't it him that got his chin split open, I want to say, in the Auburn game one year or something? He went on the sideline. Yeah, he was pouring blood or something. They went on the sideline, taped him up, and got back out there. Buddy's a soldier.
Aaron Murray does really good breakdowns on
He
Instagram.
does, bro. I
think
see him on.
he was
He posts them on Twitter too.
I think he's a born analyst. I really do think he's really good at what he does now. So
this shows you how irrelevant this stat is, like to being good. All right. For the number 2 in the passing yards out of Mississippi State is Will Rogers. From 2020 to 2024, he had 12,315. So,
well, he played in that Mike Leach air raid at Mississippi State, didn't he? Yeah, that's why he had a bunch of yards. Aaron Murray was just that guy, bro. I'm sorry. If he, like you said, if he has a better, I like Mark Richt as a person, great person, but if he plays for Kirby Smart, there's a good chance he probably wins a national championship at least, and maybe a Heisman Trophy as well. Anyway, anybody else got anything else for us?
No, I think we're good.
All right, well, that's going to do it. Another week down.
Boys.
And, we'll talk more this weekend.